Have you ever felt like someone was quietly observing how you react to things? Not judging you openly, not asking direct questions, but somehow testing you. Maybe it happens during a conversation, maybe during a small disagreement, or maybe in moments when nothing seems to be happening at all. Psychology suggests that people are constantly learning about each other through small interactions. Sometimes those interactions feel random, a delayed response, a sudden moment of silence, a small disagreement about something that seems insignificant. But these moments can reveal far more than we realize. Because human beings rarely evaluate each other through formal questions. Instead, they watch. They observe reactions. They pay attention to how someone behaves when situations become slightly uncomfortable, uncertain, or emotionally charged. And often these observations happen quietly, without explanation, without warning. In many cases, the person observing you may not even realize they are doing it. But through these small moments, people gather information about trust, confidence, emotional stability, and character. And once you become aware of these subtle patterns, something interesting begins to happen. You start noticing them everywhere. Because beneath ordinary conversations, a quiet psychological process is always unfolding. People are constantly learning who you are by watching how you respond to small challenges. The first psychological sign appears through distance. Sometimes a person who was previously warm and engaged suddenly becomes slightly distant. Their messages become shorter. Their enthusiasm becomes quieter. The interaction that once felt natural begins to feel a little different. Not dramatically different, just slightly colder. This shift can create a feeling of uncertainty. Many people respond to this situation by trying to restore the connection. They send more messages. They ask if something is wrong. They try harder to bring the interaction back to how it used to feel. But sometimes this distance is not accidental. In subtle ways, people sometimes withdraw attention to observe how someone reacts. Do they remain calm and composed, or do they become anxious and reactive? Moments like these reveal emotional patterns, because when attention disappears, people often reveal how much they rely on external validation. Confidence tends to remain steady. Insecurity often reacts immediately. And through this simple shift in distance, people can quietly learn a lot about someone. The second psychological sign appears through delayed responses. In the modern world, communication happens instantly. Messages arrive immediately. Replies can happen within seconds. But sometimes someone takes longer to respond. Hours pass, sometimes even days. At first, this might seem frustrating, and sometimes the delay simply reflects a busy schedule. But in certain situations, delayed responses become a subtle way of observing emotional reactions. What happens when someone doesn't receive an immediate reply? Do they become impatient? Do they send multiple follow-up messages? Do they assume the worst? Or do they remain calm and patient? These moments may seem small, but they reveal how someone handles uncertainty. Because uncertainty often exposes deeper emotional habits. Some people respond with stability, others react with frustration or anxiety. And through something as simple as response timing, subtle emotional patterns begin to appear. The third psychological sign appears through disagreement. Most social interactions tend toward agreement. People naturally try to maintain harmony in conversations. But occasionally, someone introduces a small disagreement. It might be a different opinion about a movie, a different perspective about a topic,
or a quiet challenge to an idea you just expressed. The disagreement itself may not be important, but the reaction often is.
Some people immediately become defensive. They feel the need to protect their opinion. Others respond with irritation or frustration. But emotionally balanced individuals often respond differently. They remain calm. They listen. They acknowledge the difference in perspective, because disagreement is not necessarily a threat. And when someone observes how you handle a difference of opinion, they often learn about your emotional maturity. The fourth psychological sign appears through subtle criticism. Criticism rarely appears in obvious ways. Instead, it often arrives quietly. A small remark, a gentle suggestion, a comment that could easily be dismissed as casual conversation. But these moments often reveal something deeper. How someone reacts to feedback can reveal their level of self-confidence. Some people interpret even small comments as personal attacks. They become defensive. They try to justify themselves. But people who are comfortable with themselves often respond with curiosity instead of defensiveness. They pause, they reflect, they consider the feedback without feeling threatened by it. And this calm reaction often communicates quiet confidence, because confidence allows people to separate feedback from identity. The fifth psychological sign appears through unexpected questions. Sometimes someone asks a question that feels slightly more personal than expected. The question may not be invasive, but it may require a more thoughtful response. It might involve beliefs, personal experiences, or future goals. These moments reveal how someone navigates vulnerability. Do they become uncomfortable? Do they avoid the question? Or do they answer honestly and calmly? People often learn about emotional openness through moments like these. Because honesty and self-awareness often appear in how someone handles deeper questions. The sixth psychological sign appears through observation of how someone treats others. This may be one of the most powerful indicators of character. Many people behave politely toward individuals they want to impress, but true character often appears in moments where there is no obvious reward. Someone may quietly observe how you treat a waiter in a restaurant, how you interact with a stranger, how you respond to someone who cannot offer you anything in return. These moments reveal genuine attitudes. Because kindness that only appears when it is socially beneficial is different from kindness that appears naturally. And people often learn more about someone through these moments than through any conversation. The seventh psychological sign appears through shifts in tone. Human communication involves much more than words. Tone of voice, pace of speech, emotional energy. All of these elements shape how a conversation feels. Sometimes, someone may subtly change their tone during a conversation. The shift may be small, but it creates a slight emotional tension. This moment often reveals social awareness. Do you react strongly to the change? Do you become uncomfortable? Or do you adapt calmly? Social intelligence often appears through emotional stability. People who remain steady during shifts in tone tend to navigate social dynamics more effectively. And this stability is something others quickly notice. The eighth psychological sign appears through silence. Silence can be one of the most powerful social dynamics. When a conversation pauses unexpectedly, many people feel an urge to immediately fill the silence. They may start explaining themselves, talking quickly, or attempting to remove the awkwardness. But silence often reveals emotional comfort. People who are confident with themselves do not feel pressured to fill every quiet moment. They allow conversations to breathe. They remain calm in pauses. And this calmness often communicates quiet confidence, because emotional stability allows space. Space for thoughts, space for reflection, space for authentic interaction. It is important to remember that most psychological tests in everyday life are not planned. People rarely sit down and consciously decide to evaluate someone through specific behaviors. Instead, these patterns emerge naturally. Human beings are constantly learning about each other, through reactions, through tone, through small behaviors that appear in everyday situations. And often, people learn the most about you in moments when you are not trying to impress anyone, moments when you simply react. When you become aware of these subtle dynamics, something interesting happens. You stop feeling confused by certain interactions. You begin to recognize the patterns. You realize that many social situations contain layers of meaning that are easy to overlook. And instead of reacting impulsively, you begin to respond with calm awareness. Because understanding human behavior is not about controlling interactions. It is about seeing them clearly.
The quiet pauses, the small disagreements, the moments of distance. All of these situations reveal something about how people think, feel, and observe the world around them. Human psychology is not only expressed through words, it is revealed through behavior. And often, the smallest reactions reveal the most about who someone truly is. If you found these insights helpful and want to continue exploring the deeper psychology behind everyday human behavior, consider subscribing to the channel. Because the quiet language of human behavior is always speaking, even when no words are being said.